As a small biz pro, so we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, so we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan?
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. Crystal, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Oh,
Mr.
man.
Gilbert. How are you?
I am doing fine. Never thought we would get to this day this year.
I know it's been a whirlwind year.
Oh,
Actually,
man.
we got here really too quick.
Oh yes. Oh, it seemed like it was 3 months ago we were saying Happy New Year, right?
Right, it did, but it's been a whirlwind year.
Unbelievable.
It's been some very turbulent times.
Yes.
And wow, I've been angry throughout since November 8th.
I hear you.
But however, on Monday, Tuesday, when the tax reform,
Lord.
that kind of like hit. It felt like I had been kicked in the teeth because as I was listening to all the details about the tax reform and the fact that they were doing it undercover in the dark in the back of the closet.
Yeah.
So you knew it wasn't for us.
Right.
And then as the details have kind of rolled out, it's really it's going to be really bad for our small businesses.
And what I really heard that disturbed me a lot is that many of those senators who agreed to pass this bill, a lot of them got kickbacks.
A lot of them got kickbacks.
I thought that was illegal.
It is
Isn't
illegal.
that illegal?
But everything about this presidency is illegal.
Oh, man.
So it's like, why would you stop at one illegal activity it's kind of like the mafia, right?
Yes, this is ridiculous. So now small businesses are going to have to suffer because of...
small business. I mean, the fact that you can't deduct your state or your federal for your state and federal taxes. You can't get credit for your mortgage interest. You can't get credit for your property taxes. You can't get... And they were able to get rid of affordable health care, even though they had
the provision
because
the mandates, right?
The mandates. So that just ended that. And it's just like, you remember the Marie Antoinette, let them eat cake?
Yeah.
That's where we are at this present. We let them eat cake, then the chip for the kids, gone.
Unbelievable.
And then Ryan, he's coming back to that wasn't enough, right? Get rid of everything else.
Right.
You'll pay more taxes, but then Ryan wants to come back and gut Social Security and Medicare. So that's everything that middle class and poor people need to survive, and the food stamps. Get rid of all the social entitlements they call them.
Hopefully, all these people will now open their eyes and see what they need to do.
Well, it seems like that's the case. I've been watching some of the things and reading some of the things on Facebook, and I read something just before I got here. So 15 seats for special elections have been turned over to the Democrats. Right. And they're looking at 58% are voting the Democrat next in the midterms.
Oh, wow.
So that's 38% that's left to vote. So that's it. They're done. I think they literally have destroyed the Republican Party. Because it is never so. And here's when you know that is deeply troubled. Yesterday, Warren Buffett came on and he said, so let me see. He says, so he's a very conservative man. You know, everything, all of his investments, and Berkshire is a very conservative company. They only deal with utilities and trains and that kind of stuff, right? So he says, so I'm going to get a return of about $659,000. And the American people are going to get $900.
Wow.
And then Jake Tapper on, I think he's on CNN, he says, so you can really understand the power of this. So if the American people get $900, that's like 7 months of gas. but every year. The rich, those $250,000 above, they get to get a brand new $50,000 M-Class Mercedes every single year for the rest of their lives.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
I mean, $900, even if you weren't doing gas, that's not even enough in California to take care of California, New York, to even pay your rent.
That is unbelievable.
It's just like, wow. It's just, do we not even value at all?
Oh, man. See, that's why I'm saying voters need to pay attention. They need to be focused, and they need to make decisions that will affect them and their families. But a lot of people are not voting because they're going, oh, it's not in my best interest. There was an election in, I think it was Virginia, where they did a recount, and the Democrat won by one vote. One vote. That means because one additional person went out to vote, that person is now,
we need to encourage everyone that everyone needs to go out and vote, because their vote definitely counts, and that was proven in Alabama. That was proven there. So it is going to be so important. And I really think that some of the reason that he jammed number 45, the reason he jammed this in so fast and in a hurry to get it in for Christmas, I believe Mueller is really getting ready to drop the guillotine.
We know it's going to happen.
So they wanted to make sure that they got what they wanted, so he could boast the whole entire Christmas. But did you see, which I thought was kind of interesting, they were boasting that AT&T was also thrilled about this tax reveal, right? And that they were giving their employees $1,000 bonuses. Well, two things happened. They were forced to do that by the unions because they were saying, if you guys are going to get $4,000 reduction, then you gotta have to do something. But the other side of it, they just laid off 1,000 people.
Oh, Lord.
So really, that was payout for severance pay, right?
That
was no bonus.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And so many of the business owners, corporations, we have plenty of money. If we wanted to hire somebody, we would have hired them already.
And see, that is why I keep saying this over and over. For small businesses, do not rely on other sources to put food on your table. You got to put your own food on your table. You got to create your own opportunities. You got to do what you need to do to make this thing happen. And as it is right now, they're showing us that we need to be vigilant. We need to go out and we need to create our own opportunities.
Right. We cannot no longer still sit in thinking that there are other people taking care of us for us. I mean, I don't care what nationality, what color. If you got purple stripes, it does not matter. It's really we're in a class war.
Exactly.
That's what we're in. So it's the rich against the poor, and your ethnicity really has nothing to do with it. There is a core of people that are out there that are, that's just part of who they are, the racism and so forth. But really, we're talking the rich against the poor. And when you look in other countries, China and Korea and any of the third world countries, the disparity between the rich and the poor is you got people, starving in the streets, and then you have them living in very opulent palaces. And I assume that's what the Republicans their goal was, or at least let me put it this way, it's Putin's goal.
Yeah. You're right.
Putin's goal. Putin's goal. And the puppeteer and his stupid crew, because they're so greedy, they bought into it. But there was a lot of kickbacks going on. So in my opinion, they all can go to jail.
Yeah.
Everybody.
They should.
So I was telling my sister this morning, I said, wouldn't it be fantastic while he's at Mar-a-Lago for Christmas, Mueller comes like Elliot Ness, and he walks out, not Trump so much, but Donnie Jr. and Kushner and his wife walk them out in handcuffs through the restaurant and throw them butts in jail.
Oh, that would be beautiful. that would be a great.
Now that's a Christmas present, right? If not, I'm going to suggest to everybody, get your passports updated, get your passport pictures for Christmas. That's what you should be asking for, and choose a country that you want to be an expat at and live there for the next 3 years, because this place is going to be unlivable.
I love that. I love that.
So before January 31st, I'm getting my passport renewed. Just in case. You have to have plans, man. Got to have plans.
Oh,
So
man.
if they don't get him out like in the first month, you better be ready in 6 months. Because really, realistically thinking about it, do you think we really could last another 3 years?
Oh, no. I mean, this has been, 11 months or 12 months? And
it won't even be 12 months to January 8th, 15th.
Already feel like 8 years.
It feels like this is dog year. Like this is the longest presidency, and we've been here 3 terms already.
Oh, my
So
Lord.
it's like, I can't even imagine it.
So I'm appealing to you, small businesses. Make sure you start looking at opportunities that will help you to be sustainable and also to provide you some opportunities so you can start paying those big tax bills that's pending right now. It's coming up down the pike. It's unbelievable. Contracting opportunities, there's a lot of them. Let's get you business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready so you can go out and get these opportunities.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it's interesting the way it happened because, if you knew this was going to happen, right? Because one of the things that they've been talking about is doubling up on your payroll, on your property taxes, which for some people that's
crazy.
impossible.
That's crazy.
So, and here in California,
that's crazy.
That could be what property taxes. It could be a couple $1,000.
Well, already they increased the taxes, the property taxes, right? So what you're paying right now is not what it was last year. You're paying a lot more now. So then if you're going to double up on that, we're talking for some families, we're talking at least 10 grand right there.
Right, exactly. So you didn't have enough time.
Yeah.
If you were going to do that, if you knew that was going to be the case, say in February, then you could have known by the time, right? You could have split it up through the year and doubled that. But no, you got 1 week before the 31st. And then your mortgage, if you pay up your mortgage, you could pay maybe if you had you've been adding on to your mortgage all throughout the year. Yeah. But he gave you, this week gives you absolutely with Christmas. So you really got 4 days before the 31st. You can't even move money out the country. You can't even go offshore.
We cannot move it out, but the other guys can.
Well, they already are in place. Oh, yeah. They already been operating like that. So we are going to have, I believe she's calling in today, and if not, we're definitely going to have her January 1st, Cozette White. She was on our show earlier this year, and so she's going to come, and we're going to dedicate the whole show to tax reform.
So she's going to demystify this whole tax reform
and tell
bill.
us what we need to do and how we need
we need to know about it.
Right, how to strategize for it. And also, I talked to our partners at the Urban League, and we're going to have, probably at the end of the month of January, we're going to have a whole seminar, like a 4-hour seminar on taxes on a Saturday.
Very good.
And then bring in, all of our tax professionals and experts. So we should have, and then throughout January, we're going to dedicate our month of January. So Cozette's going to do small business, and then we'll find someone that does corporate taxes, someone that's the legalities of our taxes, and then payroll and our benefits, because the withholdings are changing as well for employees.
Wow.
They're going up.
That is unbelievable.
So you're going to take home. I don't know how they think we're going to bring in more money when you're going to take out more money.
Yeah, see, I kind of have an idea what's going to happen over the next 3 months, but I'm not saying anything yet. I'm just watching. I'm observing. Because we're going to see something is really drastically going to happen.
It's going to have to. Now, let me ask this. So you and I, this is our space, small business. So we're always talking to our small business owners on being able to maintain your customer base, right? Customer retention is big on increasing the revenues in your business, right? Mm-hmm. So from a business standpoint, when we're operating from the rich standpoint, so if you destitute the middle class, who is actually the consumers who make them rich, because rich people are not going to buy their products. No, right? We're the workhorse. So everybody, your supermarkets, all your Ralph, CVS, whatever, where your Walmarts, the rich are not going to Walmart to do anything, right? No. And they're not shopping at Ralph's. They're at Gelson's and the high-end stores and having stuff shipped in from wherever. Half the time they're not even in the country, so they're not. So who, if you devastate the middle class and the poor, who's the customer?
It's like having a coach, right?
Right.
A stagecoach with horses, right? The horses are pulling it, but you're trying your best to make those horses weak and unable to pull it, and then you're going, what's going on? Where's my money? Where's my results?
Right,
you're not
exactly.
going to have it because they're not strong. They're not healthy enough to do what you need to do or to take you where you need to go. And that's what they're doing to the middle class.
Right. So these are the people that are these are the people the reason you're rich in the first place. Yeah. And so if you destroy those people, who's going to buy your products?
Yeah, they figure they can go to another marketplace, another economy.
But they're gonna go bring it. They're gonna go in and import some new good customers. Okay,
just like they're doing in Libya right now. See, they've got that slave trade going on there.
That's really bad.
Auctions and all of that. That's ridiculous. And people around the world, no one is saying anything. No one is saying anything, and that's what went on back in the 16th and 17th century. And then it got out of control because this thing, the whole slave trade thing officially started in about 1650. Yeah. 1655 is when it became official.
Right.
And then, by the 1865 is when they decide they're going to do that abolition things where they're going to abolish it. So over 200 years.
Right.
That thing was going on for.
Right. But again, when people outside of us think about slavery, we only think of here in America.
Yeah.
We're not looking at the Caribbean islands that didn't exist there where you came from, Jamaica.
Happened.
It never happened. They never look at how Britain invaded India. And in fact, this week I was watching a movie on Netflix. I really love international movies, and I like them for a reason because you get to see stuff outside of where stuff really happens.
You see the real deal.
Right. So, and this movie was about India when they partitioned India and Pakistan, which is very much like Jerusalem. I mean, like Israel and Palestinians, right? So, at the end of the movie, here they're trying. The viceroy is leaving India. Now they didn't conquer India and put all of them to work for them. And then, okay, we have to leave. Well, then there was a secret dossier that was there. They already knew that they were going to put the border wall where it was. And why? Because they needed to have control of the oil. So it's Great Britain that started all of this. And see, everybody thinks it's just America. No, Great Britain started this stuff.
See, we get all the scallywags, the reject from Britain. They came here and they decide to take over what's going on here, enslave the people, the Indians, and everybody here.
Right.
But those are the rejects from Britain.
Right. And Britain, and everybody wonders why it's such a melting pot as far as the number of diversities in England and how you can leave from Jamaica and go there and not have to have a visa. Well, that's because they were the owners of all of those. So that's why you have the French and all the islanders, and then
French,
you have
Portuguese,
you have Senegal and Senegalese from Africa, and because they invaded all of those territories
that's really what happened.
and became the ruler of them. So therefore, making them British citizens. So that's why there's so many ethnicities in England.
And I think they're positioning themselves to do that again in Libya right now.
Because there's oil and uranium. That's why they're there. Anytime they've already raped Africa of all of its natural resources. And so anytime there's an invasion, even here, when Trump is taking the sanction off of the national parks, is because they're going to drill. They're going to drill for uranium.
Yeah, we know that.
So they're just so greedy.
They can't claim it's coal, but we know it's not coal.
No, it's not. So small business owners, this means that because we are in a class war, this means that you being in a position to elevate your business so that you can hire people is going to be mandatory. So, and and finding and being creative on finding funds and monies, but really creating very disruptive businesses that will generate that by itself, right? But of course, we're where we are. Like if we wipe out the middle class, how the heck does that happen, right?
Yes, and small business, we need to be knowledgeable. We need to understand the system, understand the process, and do our part to be sustainable. We know that doing these transactional business is not enough to keep us going.
No.
So we're going to have to start looking at those contracts, those procurement opportunities. It's out there, whether it's federal, state, or county. We got to go out there and get those in order to sustain your own businesses. But in order to do that, you got to be certified. You got to be certified. Make sure you guys are certified. You don't know how to be certified, you call Crystal or I, and we can walk you guys through that process.
Yeah, we really gotta step up the game plan, the game plan in order to create more sustainable businesses.
And our goal, Crystal, for 2018 is for the first quarter. What we want to do is we want to certify 100 small businesses so they can start getting at least $50,000 contracts. That's our goal for the first quarter of 2018. 100 business, certifying 100 small businesses. So if you guys are out there and not certified and want to be counted in that 100, you give us a call. We'll get you included. And so we can prepare you to go after those $50,000 contract, at least $50,000. So you can start elevating yourself and being sustainable.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, and having a plan. So even though we're in the holiday season, everyone should really be thinking, what does my 2018 look like? And then not just planning for 1 year ahead. You need to really be looking at planning for the next 3 years and what that possibly looks for your businesses, and embracing those your financial structure, wherever there's a weak spot in your business, really understanding how you can strengthen that business.
That's right.
And I think the focus is, because we have to galvanize to not just one level, probably about 5 levels up, really should be identifying other businesses that you can collaborate and work together and team up with and create, partnerships in a sense, so that you can do different things and tap into every talent, skill, and resource that you have.
Oh, for sure. And that's what it's going to take. That's what it's really going to take. So, again, we're saying this, and we've been saying this week after week. We're not just saying this just because we like to talk. We want to share this information, and you know the rule of marketing. You probably hear something about 7 times before it starts resonating with you, otherwise we have to hit you over the head to really make it resonate with you. But we're going to keep telling you this over and over until at some point you go, oh, it does make sense. Let's try this. But that's what we want to do. 100 small businesses to be certified. That's what our goal is. That's what we're trying to do. And we connect you guys with contract opportunities. We want you guys to get at least a $50,000 contract so we can get started.
Exactly. And that's what it's so funny, we're on this path, and that's our mission right now. But I got a call from Edison from Recycling Black in regards to Recycling Black Dollars. And they were purchasing their membership. Which, before I forget it, you need to get your ad to Jackie.
Yeah.
Because she's about ready to go with the book.
Remind me, my assistant, my trusty assistant, remind me. I need to get my ad over to Recycling Black Dollars so I can have my company information in there to let all these small businesses know we can help them.
Right, exactly. So we got a call from Edison, and they were, okay, what's the benefits of being a member of RBD, right? And so we were talking. So then I said, oh, by the way, we're having mastermind minority certification mastermind groups. He goes, really? And his I don't know if you know him. His name is Dennis Thurston. Do you know him?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So that's our new person.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
So he said,
I know him very well.
Okay, so he said, oh, that's really good. And I said, yeah, we just had Danetta.
You should use my name too. Say.
Well, I sent over everything, and I told him about being on the podcast, coming on the show.
Maybe my name won't help you. Don't
use your name.
They'll probably go, what? Gilbert who?
So, but he was very, very excited about the fact that we were doing the workshops, and I told him that we could definitely have them come out and do what their procurement and supplier diversity opportunities are at Edison, and how we can identify some people that can fit. So he was very, very excited about that. So that was cool.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So are they going to support you guys?
Yeah, they're doing their membership.
Okay.
And then we got to register for the classes. I guess I'm going to probably register us. I think I had 4 before, so I'm going to look at probably maybe 6.
Sounds good.
And in different areas, and maybe probably have a number of them. Because last time I did networking, because I knew that wasn't, since we all have to do them, I knew that that's an area that is not taking place in our community.
Right.
Yeah.
Was it helpful the last time you did it?
Oh, yeah. There are still people that are still
good.
And they raved about you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, my peeps.
So they were raving about you. They raved about Renee. And we have to get Renee on the show, Coda.
Yeah, definitely.
Renee, Coda. And then they raved about what was the last young lady? She rides to Harley.
I know.
Francine? Is it Francine?
I don't know her name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, so they raved about the 2 of them. So we had 4 classes last year. So they were very
excellent.
Yeah. So they, and in fact, Tahaji that was here with her book. Yeah. She's using that.
Oh, good.
What you talked about and developing relationships in order to develop her marketing plan for her new book coming out. Because remember, as she was talking about when she was on the show, she wasn't. She hadn't planned that far. Like most authors, they plan on. They can't wait to get the book published, and then it's like, okay, now what?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wait, there's some real parts now.
It's like getting certification. It's like, okay, now I got certification. Then what?
Right. It's like, what's the next?
They didn't plan beyond that. So.
Yeah, didn't plan beyond that. So. They've been using it, and Ardina Brooks, she was very thrilled. She's been utilizing it to grow her business.
I like that.
So that's what we want. The feedback has been really, really good.
Great.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to, and as you know, when I teach classes, I generally try to go the extra mile. So I give them more than they actually need.
Right.
So not only are we going to do this? We've got the KYP, knowing your personnel exercise. Not only will we have that again, but we'll also have some other features and some other stuff that these small business can benefit from. So I'm anxious. I'm ready
with
to
all
go.
the information and all the workshops and stuff that we're doing, and there's a number of people. I think this Saturday there's someone over at the Urban League doing on pricing strategies on their business, and she just put a call out for all of us that are presenters. She's looking for presenters so that there's a workshop every month on different topics and areas. So
very good.
But again, I love the fact that we're finally getting it in our head that we have to collaborate together to create a bit. So for me, that's phenomenal, because that has been a problem in our community or in our business community is not being able to work together to make things work.
So since we're at the bottom of the hour right now, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, Crystal, and then we're going to come back and start covering some of our theme for the show today.
Exactly. And I need to see what happened to. We actually have a guest today, so let me find out where our guest is when we go on break.
Okay, sounds like a plan. So you're on the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And take a break.
All right.
Hello. Meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186. Hello, meet Larry.
Okay.
So we'll talk about plant.
So we're back on the Business Zone with
Crystal.
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And for those of you who are just tuning in right now, you're on the Business Zone. And the Business Zone is a weekly radio show that airs from 3 to 5 every Friday. And our theme here, our vision, our mission is to establish a platform where small business entrepreneurship comes together to meet supply diversity, contract providers, and providing opportunities and success for small businesses. Now, Crystal is the creator of this show, and she crafted this in her dream one day. She decided that we should have a vision that will help small businesses, and we came together on this, and we kind of ironed it out and put the icing and the cherry on the top, and really made it into a show. So just want you guys to know the story behind the Business Zone, how it got started, how it was conceived, and how it's going to be implemented and be carried out to help you small businesses. Crystal?
And also because you and I both know, because, when we're presenting and speaking in different environments, that it's absolutely amazing the lack of information that most small businesses have at their disposal.
That is
right?
true.
And I know, because I'm a researcher, that's something that I enjoy doing.
Yes.
But over the years, most people don't enjoy researching.
That's true.
And so to make your business successful, you have to be very aware of all the trends and sometimes just roll up your sleeves. I know you're up late in the night when you're out, you're, especially I guess because we're speaking and we're presenting, that the research is part of putting together our presentations,
yes,
right? So
yes.
you got to make sure that the information that you have is valid.
That's
We're
right.
not regurgitating the same old stale information.
Yep.
You're always, making sure that it's still relevant and irrelevant for the people that you're actually speaking with, right? So, but most small businesses don't. So that was really some of the incentive behind creating the Business Zone,
right.
is making sure that our business owners get information in a timely enough manner so that they can plan for their businesses to be successful.
And there's no other consulting firm or organization out there doing what we're doing here on the Business Zone, Crystal. And that's why I'm so proud of this program, that we're not only spearheading and launching a program that's second to none, but it's a program that provides value to small businesses all the way around. We help them in a lot of different ways. What they're hearing here on Business Zone, they would usually have to pay maybe thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars to get this in a seminar somewhere, or maybe even in a webinar.
Right.
But,
well, of course, because these are a lot of the stuff that we do. This is part of our workshops and classes that we get, as a consultant or a coach, that people are paying you for your time and service and your knowledge.
Top dollar
For that. So
we're disseminating this for free.
All right, exactly.
On the air.
And next year, we're not only going to be here at Morris Media Studio, where you will also be able to find us at the WeHo, which is West Hollywood Television. So that's TV, guys. And we will be on West Hollywood Time Warner Channel 36. And once a month, every third Wednesday evening at 5:30 on Channel 36. And as well on AT&T, which will be serving the Los Angeles customer base of the city, on Channel 99 on AT&T Universe.
So we're very excited about that. As a matter of fact, we started shooting our pilots already. And we've done 3 shows already. Crystal and I, we've done that. And the last one we just did this past Wednesday at the West Hollywood Studios, and it was phenomenal.
Right.
We cover a variety of different subjects. The show is only 30 minutes long, but, we cover like 3. We have 2 hours here at Morris Media, and it's like doing 2 hours in 30 minutes.
Right, exactly. We just got to talk fast. We have to talk faster than what we talk here. We can take our time here.
That's right.
But there, and then, we have a specific goal for that one. So we're going to be able to bring, individuals from the banking world, from the funding world, from other organizations, from political world, hopefully to bring you information on how that all pertains to your business and as a business owner. So that's the whole purpose. And I think the other day I was watching Roland Martin, and he was saying that how important it is for our community to have a media voice and a resource where you can get very pertinent information that will help you in your community. So, Morris Media, that's here at Morris Media, that's Felicia Morris's goal is to become the Black talk show outlet for our community.
And other minorities as well.
And other minorities as well. So, so that's what we're working for, and so it's a fantastic platform for us here. It gives us diversity on the WeHo TV because that's a very diverse community. So we're bringing what you need to either start your business, grow your business, and elevate your business to that next level.
And just remember, this platform is established primarily for you, small business, the small business owner who doesn't have a voice, doesn't know where to get resources, doesn't know how to access opportunities, get a loan, a line of credit, get bonding for your business, get contracts, how to hire employees, where to get them, where to find them. Where to put together your business infrastructure. I need a business plan. Where do I go? How do I do it? This is what we do here at the Business Zone. We provide you that type of resource. We also have our own workshops that we run to help guide you, small businesses and entrepreneurs, to become that competent business owner that we want you to be and that you want to be as well. We're also matching you up with contract opportunities as well. Who could ask for anything more? This is just an amazing platform. And we first started this program, we first launched this program in July of 2016. 2016. So we're a year and a half in right now. And we're working towards second anniversary. Next year in 2018, July will be 2 years that we've been on the air.
I know, it went by fast, huh?
I know, it's unbelievable.
Another day I was putting together our media kit because
2 years.
2 years. So, we're looking for sponsors for the show. So if you're interested in sponsoring, and we have a wonderful outlay of packages that that can benefit your company for getting for marketing, which is one of the major things that most businesses should be thinking about. But I was putting together the list of all of the people we have guests that we've had. So can you take a guess how many guests we've had in this year and a half?
Let me guess. So I know we've done like show 82 or so. So some of those have been co-hosted by just us two, and then others we've had guests on. So I'm going to say probably 59.
Yeah, very close. 57.
Oh, 57. All right.
So you're right on.
I was close.
I know. So we've hit 57.
Wow,
so
that's amazing.
Yeah, I was showing the package to someone yesterday, and she goes, "Are all these current?" Yep, everyone is current.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that is amazing.
But that means that between the two of us, we know 57 small business people or people that we felt that they had valuable experience and information to share with our audience. That's pretty
amazing.
Incredible, huh?
That is phenomenal. That is phenomenal. And we got to keep doing that. And that's part of the reason why we've brought on our first major sponsor for this program, the Business Zone. And that is the State of California Department of General Services. We just brought them on last week.
Yeah, and it's been fantastic.
Yes.
And for those that weren't tuned in last week, the Department of General Services, they actually have, 2.25 million.
Actually, they have
billion?
$8 to $10 billion in construction dollars, but 2.5 of that is going to small business because of the 25% goal requirement.
Right, and no, exactly. And as you like to say, that's your tax dollars that you can get. And really important now, right?
Oh, yeah.
To get some of your tax dollars back. But since you're going to be paying all the taxes.
That's exactly it.
But we're very pleased to have Department of General Services as
we had their outreach manager, Danetta Jackson, here a couple of weeks ago, and she did a workshop with us. And she was showing us how to access contract opportunities, how to become certified and all of that. And it was just phenomenal. So we're going to continue to work with the State of California and Department of General Services to provide you, small businesses, opportunities to help your business grow. And in 2018, like we say, our goal is we want to certify at least 100 small businesses with the State of California and provide you those contract opportunities. $50,000, a $50,000 contract at least is what we're looking for you.
Exactly. So we want to do that. So throughout the show today, we'll be giving you more wonderful facts from the Department of General Services, which is that they do the servicing for the State of California, right?
State of California, and they have a certification program for small businesses and disadvantaged veteran business enterprises. And they have a special program, the State of California Department of General Services, wherein if the contract is for $249,000, that could be an informal contract where only two people will need to be contacted in order to solicit a quote from you. So keep that in mind. Instead of bidding with a whole universe of millions of people, you may only have to compete against one other vendor or small business. So think about that. That's one in two chance of winning this contract. That's a 50% chance of winning. So who could ask for anything more? I think you guys need to get involved in our program so we can coach you and guide you and get you in that process so you can start making your money in 2018.
I think so. I mean, that's like winning the lottery, man.
That's exactly.
A $50,000 lottery or more, up to $249,000. One in two chances. So that's better than the lottery, actually.
For sure.
Isn't that fantastic? So, yeah, that's something that people should think about.
Definitely.
So the theme today we're going to talk about, because we're at the end of the year and we got some major stuff happening. Obviously, we talked about the taxes, the tax reform bill. But in order to get ourselves ready for that, we need to plan, right? So for you and I, we've already put some plans in place. You personally and me personally, and then us working jointly for the Business Zone and then for our own individual coaching practices, but you got to define a goal.
Yes.
So everyone, when you're looking at, and I know planning is just like, it's like when you tell people they need a business plan, it's like, why? Because it's your roadmap, right? Right. So I mean, you can't. It's like going someplace without a map.
Exactly. Someplace you've never been
before without a map, right? So same thing with business.
Yeah.
You need a map. You need to know, and you need to have a goal.
Exactly.
Why are you doing what you're doing?
And when you get there, what you're going to do? You got to know that.
What you're going to do. And is it for just this week?
Yeah.
Or is it for short term? Is it for a long term?
Yeah.
Do you have a specific, unique goal in mind?
Right.
And so depending on what it is that you're trying to do, you have to have a plan for each one of those very distinctive goals of yours.
Exactly.
And so, because it's not a blanket.
No.
It's if I want to write a book, then I have to have a goal and I have to have an outline. Okay, how do I want to do that? And
what do I want to cover?
How I want to cover it, and what time frame are we talking? We've had a couple people here on the show that have said, or it took me 21 years to write a book, or it took me 19 years to write a book.
Yes.
So obviously there's some planning that has to go on if it takes you that long time.
And certain content that you got to include in there.
Right. And some of the things when I've talked about writing a book, it's like, what would I write a book on, right? I mean, I'm sure it's the same thing. We have such a vast knowledge of information. And for me, and I don't know about you, for me, I think the thing that's been hesitant for me is I don't want to regurgitate what everybody else has written. I mean, it's not like what we're doing is so unique. I mean, as far as the coaching and running a business and starting a business, there's 15 million books out there about that. But what is my unique value proposition that I would create that a person would see that, wow, this is a book that I would want to read. Right. Because this is not new stuff. Exactly. This is just stuff that we've learned, and a business is a business. Yes. Now, depending on the niche that you're in, there's some specifics that pertain to you. Yeah. But basically, the groundwork of starting a business is the exact same, and everybody can tell the exact same story. It's just how you deliver it. Yep, that's exactly what it is. So being able to, that was part of the goal. What am I trying to achieve when I write a book? Yep. Because it's not. I don't want to say the same thing that everybody else is saying.
You gotta put some value. Everything you do is all about the value proposition, because when you speak, you're trying to solicit an audience. You want that audience to listen to what you're saying. So therefore, whatever you're disseminating should have some level of value to the listener. That's what you call a value proposition. You're proposing something to that listener. So in your proposition, you got to demonstrate what value you're bringing them. So that's what this is all about. Right, you're writing a book, it's the same thing.
Right, exactly. And the same thing with our presentations. And it's so funny. So last year when we did, we had 4 different workshops on networking. Yes. And we had 4 different presenters. Yes. And I noticed that not one of the 4 covered the same information.
That's true. That is true. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, it did not overlap any of the information. So, but it was the same topic.
Same topic.
Just different levels of that topic, but none of you actually, and you haven't been in all of their classes, and they haven't been in your classes. Exactly. But again, your delivery and the reception from RBD's members was different from everybody else's, and the same thing with the other people, because they resonated and heard what they needed to hear. Right.
So each person has to bring their own level of value proposition to the table, to the audience, the listening audience, and try to see how you can help them, how you can elevate them, how you can take them to the next level. And that's what this is all about. I mean, on this show, that's what Crystal and we try to do. We try to elevate you. We provide value, we provide knowledge, and we try to take it to a point where you can use the information you're getting to elevate your business, to build your business, to take it to the next level. So in your operation out there in the industry, when you're competing against your competitors, it will give you a competitive advantage. Exactly.
So if I had a client, if I had 4 clients and each one of them had a restaurant, their core principles of running a restaurant, that's the same. But if the restaurant, one specializes in soul food and one specializes in Chinese food and one's in Caribbean food, then one, who I'm marketing to is different, right? I mean, there's some crossover, but you distinctively, you're looking for people who love soul food. That's your first priority. Right. And then your next line of, people that, they've had soul food and, they might be interested. And then your whole brand new potential customer who has never had it and you want to introduce them to it. Yeah. And at the same time, being able to cross that over. So really being able to distinguish who your clientele is important or who your customer base is, identifying them and targeting them. And then the next thing is the one thing that I absolutely admire about Greg Doolin of Doolin's Catering, and he does soul food, is that Greg travels all over the country for his vacations, and he's trying other soul food restaurants across the country, and then coming back, one, to see if his is on par with theirs, if it's a really, really good restaurant, and two, what are what's some new innovative ways that he can, implement into his restaurant, whether it's the cooking piece, or catering piece, or customer service, or whatever that is, and also, I think he's also observing, the staff, because one of the amazing things about Doolin's restaurant company or their business is that they've had the same employees at all of their locations for at least over 30 years.
Multiple years, yes.
That's pretty darn amazing, right? From a restaurant standpoint, because that's a high turnover business.
It is. And that's why it is so amazing when you as a business owner, first of all, who your competitors are, and what they're doing, when they're doing it, how they're doing it, so you can compare your operation to theirs and see whether or not yours is superior or not, whether you're on par, whether yours is trending like the others out there in the industry and in the marketplace. So you got to know what your competitors are doing at all time.
At all time. And then because you started out one way doing business, that doesn't necessarily mean that's the same way you continue business forever and a day. No. Right? My business started out one way and it evolved to a whole, it evolved to here. Right? And that wasn't originally on my plan, but obviously, I had done my homework that, one, you and I can run a show and not even have an agenda for that day. But because we've done our homework and we utilize our information and our experiences, that gives us a vast amount of information that we can disseminate to our small business owners.
Exactly. And also looking at how running a business in different time frame, different area works, and why it's to your advantage to change your style as you go along. Think about how it was to run a business, say 25, 30 years ago. Most people will document their revenues and their sales manually. They write it in a book. They put it in a ledger or document form like that. And then they write it using a pen or pencil. Document all that information, document their inventory, document their sales, their purchases, and all of that, their profits, their loss, all of those things. Now we're using electronic software. We're using QuickBooks. We're using the bookkeeper. We're using all these other different types of forms. And the whole purpose of this is to make it more efficient and faster.
Exactly. So that you don't spend time on tedious tasks of running your business, but you can spend more time on inspiration and how you can continue to grow and expand. Thomas Jefferson said that when he was talking about inventions, 95% is about planning and perspiration, the hard work of making it work. And then you use about 1% in inspiration. Well, to stay competitive, and especially in today's business world, it's probably changed since he quoted that, because now it's really about inspiration. Well, if I have a shoe store, why do you come to my shoe store versus going to the other 5 that's in the same, especially in a mall? I mean, they didn't have malls at that time, right? But you can go into a mall and there are 4 different shoe stores or 4 different dress shops or men's shops. Why do I go there?
Exactly.
As opposed to here. So what's driving me in there? Are you having multiple sales that I just cannot resist? Or is your display so beautiful that it catches my attention? And you know, we get all excited about shiny objects. Do you have many shiny objects in this store? Why am I coming into your store? Right? So that's part of your inspiration is to get us in there. And or even in your service business, why am I going to select you when maybe 10 people do taxes or 10 people are coaching? Why am I selecting you? What is it about you that I feel I want to spend my money with?
Sounds
with
great.
you.
Sounds
so
great.
that's the first level of planning. Is one is setting your goals so that you know why you are planning and what the initial
what you
purpose,
expect to achieve.
what's your expectations at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing, and identifying what you're trying. Are you trying to increase your revenue? Are you trying to bring in more customers? Are you trying to create new product lines? Whatever that is, you have to identify what that is before you start. Because that's really important.
Yeah.
The next is how do you, if you have employees, how do you engage them in that planning process?
Yep.
Because one of the things that my girlfriend is in HR, and one of the things she always complained, she was the HR director at Continental Airlines, and then they closed down their Los Angeles operation and they relocated to Houston. Well, she couldn't relocate. So in these last, I want to say actually since the recession, because she was before. So in the last 11 years, trying to find that right company where she wants to be has been challenging. Because when you work for a company like a Continental Airlines that have some governmental regulations as to how you do business, and you're also doing business domestically and internationally, then you have a real strong structure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the goal and the mission, you're always on point with where the company is going, and the leadership hopefully is guiding everybody. But when you go to work for independent companies, that is not the case.
That's a totally different ballgame right there. Totally different ballgame.
And I always tell her that. I always say, because when she was working with him, she'd be complaining. I said, that's because they're privately owned companies, and they don't think anybody should tell them or interfere in their business.
That's it.
So if you're telling them about compliance, they're like, I don't have to comply with anybody. This is my business. Have you encountered that?
A lot of times. A lot of the small businesses that I work with, they're going, compliance? Please. Don't talk to me about compliance. I said, okay.
Right, exactly. I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
I don't have to do
then
that.
Later on, when the government gets involved, then that's when they realize they really need to comply. So then they're forced to. You know, when we talk about the levels of contract readiness, and business readiness, that's one of them. You know, compliance is one. And if you're forced to comply, then it puts you in a whole different category. But if you have to just voluntarily comply, not too many businesses.
Right, unless there's somebody that's with some incentive. Why would I want to do what you're telling me to do, right? But big companies like Continental, so she's muddled through those type of companies, and she's very used to working in, hey, Cozette, how are you? Working in very structured kind of individuals that want to comply.
Right.
And so she's been frustrated when she's worked for these manufacturing companies. So now she is working for a company that they supply HR services. They're an outsourced HR company. So now they're supplying those HR services to big, huge manufacturing companies. So day one, she could see the difference. I said one, because one is an HR company. So compliance is what they do.
It's a big part
and
of it.
two, the customers are paying big money in order for them to manage their HR.
Yeah.
So that's the incentive. I said, you'll do much better in this environment because this works with your personality.
That is true. That is true. And with that being said, Crystal, we're at the top of the hour right now, 4 o'clock. So we're going to go ahead and take another quick break right now. And when we come back, we want to definitely go through that list right there that small businesses need to know in order to get them ready for 2018. So we're going to go ahead and take a break. You're on the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. Take a break.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
So we're back on the Business Zone, Crystal.
Yes,
and Gilbert Buchanan.
So when we were off air, Gilbert and I were talking about how do you get customers engaged into embracing your product or your service.
Yes.
So and specifically, we're talking about Small Biz Pro.
Yeah.
So how do we get you guys engaged in utilizing that particular product? So I was saying to him that it's on the same premise of how did Google Drive get us to utilize Google Drive, right? Yeah. And the same thing for Dropbox. Now, I don't use Dropbox as much because, when they first started, they were free. Yeah. And then they've changed their business formula and their structure many, many times. Yeah. So now it can be quite costly to utilize Dropbox. But Google, it's a whole platform, right? It's everything that you possibly could use to help you run your business. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you why I was engaged with using Google Drive. And while now all of my files is on there.
Yeah, tell me.
A couple of reasons. First is I had a computer crash. Mm-hmm. And I could not get back into my documents that was stored on my hard drive.
Check. Small Biz Pro does that.
Right? So that was the first thing. Uh-huh. The second time was because how many people really truly do back up their computers?
Not too many people.
Right. And how many people? And in early days, and for us as independents, is not as imperative as if you were working for a company. Because I remember when computers were first introduced before Google Drive, before the all that sort of stuff, when we were on the green DOS computer, and you'd be typing away, doing your on Word or Word Perfect or whatever the program we were using, and then you lose that document. And then your boss, of course, is like, "Where's the document I told you to type?" So
now working on it for 2 hours.
Oh, right, and it's gone, right? Yeah. So that was early days. Then as we came along, but we're still not, unless you have an external drive connected where it's actually saving. But what happens when that dies? And I've had that happen a couple times. And then I have like 3 laptops because I burn them out fast. I have 3 laptops that there's documents on all of those that I actually need. Yeah. And I'll go like, where's that document? I'm looking, and I'm really organized with my computer. And I'm like, where is that? Oh, wow, it's on that computer over there that the motherboard went out and I didn't get it fixed. I just went out and bought another one. So
Small Biz Pro, check.
So after that, it's like, okay, I have to have a system that I can store everything, and no matter where I'm going, I can always access it. So when I start teaching at Mount SAC, so did I just carry? Oh, and then this was the next evolution was the flash drive. Well, how many flash drives have you left all over the city?
A lot.
Right.
Sometimes I don't even know where I left them.
Right. So, you buy 4 or 5 of them, and you're like, what happened to my flash drive, right? Yeah. So that was my final when I was completely dedicated to saving everything on Google Drive. Because no matter where I am, I can access my
Small Biz Pro, check.
See? So that's how
all of those things that those other drives do, Small Biz Pro does that and more.
Right. So that's, I think, but now some of the people that you're reaching out to, they're still at flash drives.
Yeah.
They are not even embracing Google Drive and seeing how efficient it is to get to wherever you want and whatever you want, wherever you happen to be. But again, you and I, if I don't carry my computer, I may be at somebody else's computer, or I may be at a client's, or if you're on your tablet, then it doesn't matter if I have the software on there or not, right? Because I have the Google Drive. Right. So I think that's what you have to do, is find those clients that are very dependent on making sure wherever they happen to be, they can access whatever documents they need. Okay. And I think your specialty, as far as certification, because obviously yours does some steps above that. So the research piece.
All the key documents that they need for their certification is right there in the Small Biz Pro. Right. And the way we have it structured, their business is structured into 4 business categories. So when you upload a file or a document, you should be able to find it because it's in one of those 4 categories. You don't have to go looking, oh my Lord, where did I put it? I'm looking for my balance sheet. Where is it? Well, the only place your balance sheet could be is in the cash flow management section. It can't be anywhere else because there's nowhere to store it.
Right, exactly. So let me ask this question, because I have some documents stored on my Small Biz Pro. But is there a way, since now that we're doing, and it may be there and we just didn't address it, maybe we should address it, where we can communicate with our students via Small Biz Pro?
So we could send them documents. We could do that. They can log in. We can log into their account if they give us the permission. As far as
like an email
oh yes, we do have that component now. We've got the email component now. So we can send them information. They can send information too. So they can use it as their regular
So that's how
email.
we can get them connecting for our classes. Because one of the things that I used to use with my classes, my business plan classes, and the mastermind group that that we had when we were at Rhonda, was I used a program called Basecamp. So I wouldn't have to individually connect with all of them, and they could communicate with each other as well. Then everybody was signed into Basecamp. And so now, if we talked about a certain a document or something in class, and they didn't take notes, then I will upload the presentation there, and then you can go in and review it over the weekend, and then anybody else who's interested in it as well. And with Basecamp, you could put it in categories. So if it was on compliance, if it was on what have you. So throughout the 4-week or the 6-week class time or the time period, that's where they went to get information. I didn't send out individual emails.
I like that.
So we could, if that component, then let's use, because for our small business, our mastermind group, that would be a way we can communicate. So then you're reaching back out to them, once a week to see where you, like right now, they're supposed to be applying for their state. So then they can upload that there.
Yes. That's a good approach.
So is that a capacity that it has?
It has that capacity, so we just need to get them using it.
Yeah. So that's and the way you do that is, okay, I need you guys, because we actually told them they had to Monday, right, to supply, to register for the state, right? So you can email them through that vehicle. And they have to respond back through that vehicle, right?
That's great.
And then that way we'll know whether they got up, and if they've and like Jennifer had asked for us to send her a list of everything that she needed so she can make sure that she's uploaded all her documents. So we can add that or send that via Small Biz Pro.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, that's right.
Great. And then if we're having these groups, for the next year, then we at least got that group.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And if we're having 10 to 15 businesses, then you multiply that, we have 6 groups.
Yes.
Or 12 groups, because we're going to do them out every 4 weeks. Then we'd have 12 groups of 15 that are actually signed on.
I like that. Thank you, Crystal.
Yeah, so that's called incentives and purpose.
That was very helpful.
And sometimes it has to come from us, right? Because, like I said, Google Drive has been something that I use because it makes it very convenient for me. So, and for communication.
Does Google Drive have templates on it?
No.
Like if you need a business plan template?
No, because I'm only uploading. Mine's just, I just use, well, let me put it this way. If I use Google Docs, yes, they have templates.
How about statement of cash flow?
No, they don't have that.
No profit and loss template?
No. Yeah.
Small Biz Pro does. I love that.
Does, but no, yeah.
I love that.
But that's what I mean. So, but I utilize, because I operate from the Google platform. Yeah. So my Gmail and everything and actually the extensions that I use when I gave out all those tips that I use and products that I used last week, they all actually have come from the extensions of our Gmail account. So the newsletter that I use, instead of Constant Contact, I use something called Flash Issue because it completely integrates with Gmail.
Very good. Very good.
So that might be something that you could think about.
Yes, and I think that's very good feedback.
And all the workshops that you do across the state, that's what, communicate through that.
Exactly.
And if you're giving them access to Small Biz Pro, then they have to use it. And then what happens, and the same thing with Google Drive and the same thing with Dropbox, if you're using it all the time and you become dependent on it, then when you run out of space, then the evolution of upgrading is exactly that. In order to get that next gig,
I have no choice but to upgrade.
But to upgrade. But again, it's already proven to me is value proposition.
Yes.
So it's a worthwhile investment.
Those are some good feedback, Chris. I'm here. My brain is turning. I'm going, oh, wow, this is great. Small businesses can really benefit this way. So that's good.
Okay.
That's good.
And that kind of fell into number 3 on my list here.
That's what I'm talking about.
Involve your customers in your planning.
That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Because, and it says your one key source of good data is your customers. Why would I use it if you're providing something? It's like going to a restaurant that you absolutely love and they go out of business. Yeah. Or for us women, using a makeup that we absolutely line, and this happens we absolutely love, and then they change the formula. It's like, oh man, and they call it for the new improved. No, this ain't the new improved. You should have left it alone. This is not new. So your customers' feedback is important.
Yes, it is. It is. Because it either helps you to become better, be a much more efficient service provider, or to help that customer grow in the direction in which they want to go.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. So
that's good.
That's important. And so you have to listen. And so a lot of businesses don't listen to their customers because they figure this is my business. Yeah. I don't have to listen to you. I'm providing something. No, you do, because they're spending your money. That's kind of what I just said at the top of the hour was, if we eliminate the consumer that's buying the rich people's products, what's going to happen to your richness?
Yeah, I think we should let that play out and see. Well, have them see what's going to happen.
What that would look like, right?
They should have already know the answer to that, but they're pretending they don't. So.
Right. Who do you think is your... Because one, these are big companies.
Yeah.
So they should have done their demographics. They should know exactly who their customer is. Yeah. So they know that their customer is not that wealthy, rich man, because they go out of business.
And once those customers get angry, what happens? They stop supporting you. They stop supporting you and start supporting somebody else. And guess what's going to happen? Your business is going to crumble and fall.
Yeah, my business is going to crumble and fall. So. And I think that's where we are in this world today. If we refuse to purchase and buy from you. Yeah. In fact, this came up this week. There's a new Subway that just opened up not too far from here, around the corner actually, and it's in our community, right? And so somebody went into with her daughter, and she's like, "Oh, this is a nice Subway. It's nice that it's in the community." So the employee says, "Yeah, it would be fine if it wasn't in the ghetto." So. She said, "So where do you live?" And so he said he lived in the beach area, in the Venice, Santa Monica area. And she goes, "So why are you working here?" Yeah. And he said, "Well, because he couldn't afford to, there was no jobs out there, so he had to come in, and it's a straight shot on the train for him to get there, right? Because he has to walk up to get there or take the bus up, right?" Yeah. So she said, really? But you think here is degrading to you because you're in the ghetto. Yeah. Now we're talking over here where we live, which is at the base of some of the most expensive homes in Los Angeles, second to Beverly Hills. Yeah, yeah. There's not a house up there that is not valued at least $700,000, but it's the ghetto, right? So, so when she put that up on Facebook, so some people say, "Well, I think we shouldn't go there to shop anymore."
See, there we go.
I think we should, we'll give the owner time to fix. So I said, and I text her, I said, on Facebook, I said, "So I tell you what, get the owner's name and address, and we will all write to him and say that it was probably in his best interest if he have employees that don't degrade the community that his business is in." And if they insist on doing that, then let's see how it works if we just stop supporting you.
Yeah. Yep. That's good.
So about 75 people are like, "Yeah, we're all on board."
Yeah. I'm sure they went in and they changed their behavior.
Right. So I'm waiting for her to let me know whether that's the case. But no, your employees got to be involved, and your employees. And this is the other thing for those of you that do have employees. Your employees, especially your frontline employees, they are an ambassador of your company.
That's true.
And they should be displaying the same missions and goals and vision that you have for your business. Yes. Because people are going to see them before they see you.
Exactly.
And by the time they get to you, they have already formed an opinion and have decided whether or not they're going to be your customer.
That's right. And then once the mission and vision of the employees are different than management, then it's going to be a totally catastrophe. It's going to be a total catastrophe for the company. Because people are going to go, what are these guys about? Well, I thought they were doing this over here. Now, why are they doing this over here?
Right.
And then you're going to start to see that exodus of people moving away from
right, because your employees have not, so they have to be very much aware of what when you start doing your planning, you have to involve your employees in that, because they're the ones that are going to be executing those services and or selling your products, and if they're not on the same line in the same lane that you're in, then it's going to be a problem for you to execute those new goals and plans into your business.
Exactly.
So that's very, very important for those. Right. And employees is a whole nother ball game. It's one thing when you're just when you wear all the hats, but when somebody is being that ambassador for your company, then you have to have communication with them and get them involved. And on the same note, they also can be very valuable to whether or not the product or the services you're executing is in line with the demographics that you're marketing to, because they're the front line, right? So they're hearing the comments, and so you should be able to respect and encourage them to have feedback to make sure that you are targeting the right customer base for your business.
And I think that adds to your next point, Crystal, in this the whole planning process. We talked a little bit about SWOT analysis. This is really a big and key component to that whole aspect there. Because for those of you who don't know what a SWOT analysis is an analytical system or a tool that is used by an individual or an organization to examine the strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities and threats within your organization. Now, if you're looking at strengths, you want to look at what are the things that make my company strong or make my employees strong. Weaknesses, what weaknesses that can really hurt us. That's what you want to look at. And then opportunities, what opportunities exist in the marketplace, in the community, within the skills that we provide, within the products and services that we offer, by any new law, federal law that may be coming out, state law, county laws. What opportunities are out there? Can we form a strategic partnership with another group, another organization? Can we get some opportunities out of that? And threats. What threats exist out there? So these are the 4 parts that many of you small businesses should really look at. And you should look at this every day. When you have those employees who may say disparaging things about your product or your company that could affect you, then you want to, if you've done your SWOT analysis, then you would have had an idea whether or not those employees would contribute to your growth and development or they could hurt you.
Right, exactly. And it also, they can help you decide where you should be taking your business, because your customers are usually very honest with you on what they like best about your company.
Yes.
I have and I'm big on loyalty, right? So years ago, when I used to get my nails done, when I was getting my nails done, I had this one guy, and I absolutely loved him because he was so on top of the customer service, was phenomenal. He sent out texts to me for over 10 years, still does actually, wishing me Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, Happy Birthday, whatever was going on, happy whatever. So of course, that's taking a personal interest in me, right? So he became my guy. But then I was introduced to someone else, and I liked the way they did it as well. And they're also very personal and care quite a bit. And the price point is about the same. So because I'm loyal to both of them, so I alternate. 1 month I get done with him, and 1 month I get done with her, because I feel that I like both of them, but I don't want to abandon one for the other, because they're excellent.
They both help you to achieve your objectives.
Through my objectives, and both of them, the customer service is usually what really entices me to, and sensitizes me to be at a business in the first place. If you're giving me top level, first class customer service, you got me as a client and customer forever.
Customer service is very important.
It's very important. So when I do a SWOT analysis, I can't identify any weaknesses that would say, okay, I won't go to them anymore. I'll take all my business over here. So now I have to share my business with between the two of them, so they both get a little bit of me from both sides.
But you're doing a great job, though. You're doing a great job in the things that you've done, the small businesses that you work with, the information you disseminate. So you're that exemplary leader that requires, they say when you do stuff, when you have people that follow you, they follow you because they believe in what you say, what you do, and they'll do it against their best intentions. They call that referent power. And not too many people have referent power. We've got people like Martin Luther King. He had referent power because people would follow him to the end of the earth. You've got other leaders in the society that had referent power. So that's not a power that's come by easily. And that's what you're exhibiting right here, right now. That the things that you do and say, it helps to inspire these businesses and these clients, and it makes them do the right thing.
Yeah. I read something, and I don't even know whose quote it was, but it said that you know that you've achieved a certain level of success in your business, especially if you were a consultant or a coach, was when you go somewhere to speak and you don't have to introduce yourself. Right. They introduce you, or you walk in. So that did happen to me one time. Someone introduced me, and it didn't have my bio or anything, and I went, wow. And then I was somewhere else at some event, and I went up to speak, and there was a lady. You had to come up. You know how sometimes you go someplace and then you're going to be one of the speakers. You're going to ask the question, right? And so I walked up and I was standing along the side of the wall, and there was a lady sitting in a seat on the corner. She goes, "You're Crystal Mitchell, aren't you?" I went, yeah. And I'm looking and I'm like, I've never seen this lady before. She goes, I've heard so much about you. I'm like, really? So when you come in, and I get that a lot when, I tell, when someone asks me about the BusinessZone, and I'll say, oh yeah, Gilbert's my co-host, and they're like, oh yeah, he's phenomenal. So, because we're never in the same places. Yeah, that's true. Generally, I mean, now we tend to be more in the same places, but you have a different marketplace than I have, a different, different groups that you work with. So when I go in my world and I say, oh yeah, Gilbert is fantastic. So there you go. We know we're achieving what we're achieving.
And that's what it's supposed to be. We're supposed to do these things to help the people that we're supposed to help so they can feel helped. And then at the same time, they'll continuously support us.
Right, that's exactly. And there are people, I mean, look at Oprah. She's like that. I mean, her talk show, and even, because a lot of times when you've been on television and they see you every single day, so, on a major network like she was on Channel 4, and then when she left and went to her own, but they got to go find her now. But she still carries the same weight that she did because of how she created that, with the platform that she created when she was on Channel 4.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of companies and businesses gravitating towards us because what we're offering is so different than anything else any other entity can come up with.
Yeah, very unique for right now. And I was talking to Jackie when we were talking about this, and that from a nonprofit standpoint, RBD being one of the sponsors of the BusinessZone, that makes us as a nonprofit stand out because, again, this is a platform where we can reach our members and far beyond just the members that we can put our fingers on. Right. So it's very important, and for Small Biz Pro, to be able to reach a broader marketplace. So this is, the podcasting world is amazing. Yeah. So when we look at the SWOT, which is very important, and I'm thinking now that I'm looking at, what they, how you find out what your strengths are. Surveying is a great way to do that, right? Yes. So businesses, you're really looking at a component. How do you find out from your customers exactly what your strengths are when in relationship to them? And so you can do a survey of your customers, you can do a survey of with your employees, and a survey with your complementary businesses that or colleagues, and find out what they each think or identify as one of your strengths. Right. And that's definitely your weaknesses, because most of us are too vain to say, yeah, I got this weak area here, right? Yeah.
Most of us will never say it.
Most of us would never admit.
What weakness? I don't have any weakness.
And I know when you've taught this subject, and you'll ask the participants, what's your weakness? Yeah, they're like, going,
I don't have any. I don't know. They know them.
Right.
They know them. And one of the biggest weaknesses among small businesses, as we know, is the cash flow management piece.
Yes.
They don't do that part very well. So everybody knows that.
Right, exactly. I mean, you're right. Exactly. It's common knowledge, but you not if you ask them. If you ask them, they're not going to tell you that. Yeah. But that's along that same question, and I've done this with when I was at Mount Sac. When at the end of the class, we'll kind of what questions you would be asked if you were being employed. And one of those questions is, what do you consider your weakness? And they're like, how do I answer that question? What if I say, yeah, well, this is my weakness, and they tell me, we don't want you to hire you, so you don't know how to answer that question. So it's the same thing in the small business world.
Exactly.
Your weakness doesn't necessarily mean that it's the end all or be all, and it will drive your customers away from you. What it will do is it helps you identify what that is and then to fix it.
So, this is our final break that we're going to pursue right now. And then once we're covered this break, Crystal, we're in the home stretch, and we're going to disseminate some more information from the SWOT analysis that you have there.
Right, exactly. And then I think Deron has the commercial for the D. Oh. Does he have is there a commercial that we have for Department of General Services? Or?
Yes. Do you have a commercial, or do you have just the logo?
Oh, okay. So we'll just when we come back give you some other facts about the Department of General Services.
Speak a little bit to that. So we're going to go ahead and take a break. We're on the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. Take a break.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
So we're back on the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And Crystal, you were touching on some key subjects there regarding the SWOT analysis and how small businesses can utilize this scale in order to measure and effectively grow and implement their business. But prior to that, we wanted to talk a little bit about the Department of General Services.
Yeah, we did. So what's some of the other distinctions about them? Let me see. And we had some notes here, didn't we? And you probably know the notes right off.
One of the things that we know about them is that you can go to www.caleprocure.ca.gov and register your business in order to get into their database. And then once you're registered into that database, they will provide you a confirmation number. And then with that confirmation number, you can use it to go ahead and get certified.
And when Donata Jackson came out, she says it only takes about 15 minutes to become registered.
Only take 15 minutes. It doesn't take that much. So once you go in, and one of the key things that we want to share with you on this program is, before you go to register, you make sure that you have a company profile on your company. Some information, background information, when the company got started, how many employees you have, what legal structure is your company, is it sole proprietorship, is it a corporation, an LLC? All of those things are things you need to know. You know your NAICS codes and all of those types of things. So when you go to register, you have all that information at your fingertips.
Right. So that's some information that people generally should have about their business. That's not difficult stuff. If they're in business, right, exactly. I mean, what do you do? Why do you do it? Next codes might be a little new for them if they haven't had to use those, which is really just, can you kind of tell them what the next codes are and why they really should know what they are? So, and identifying who they are in that directory.
And then you use that information. Once you use that information, you go to www.caleprocure.ca.gov. Then you register in that system. And once you register, then you can start doing your certification. And once you're certified and you receive that certification, that certificate, you're going to receive a letter in the mail saying that you're certified. Once you're certified, then now you can go in and start looking at opportunities, start seeing what type of opportunities are in line with what you do in your industry.
Okay, that's fantastic. And the state of California requires a minimum of 25% of the $8 to $10 billion that they annually contract to go to certified small businesses and 3% to go to disabled veteran business enterprises. So those are set-asides that are there for you. And again, as Gilbert likes to say, those are your tax dollars.
That's right.
And so you might as well get some of them back.
Got to get some of it back.
Right, exactly.
And just remember, 50% of winning is showing up. Once you show up, then you're there. You're in the pool. So now all you got to do is perform. Do what you need to do.
And I think I've heard somewhere that the state of California is really the largest employer and business contractor
within the state.
Within the state, right? All the businesses that are in the state.
That is true.
They are the largest organization or corporation that actually is out there to do business with you.
Right. So you guys definitely want to tap into this. Now, we can hold your hand so far.
Right.
But you got to take it to the next level. You know, we're providing you all these pearls of wisdoms here on the show, on the Business Zone, but you're going to have to take it to the next level, going in and registering, obtaining your certification, obtaining the information. And then after you've done that, then we can guide you to where you need to go get these opportunities.
Right, exactly. And then you can lead the horse to water.
That's right.
But we can't make you drink.
Can't make you drink.
You have to be thirsty so that you will drink on your own. But we don't have a problem helping you get there. We'll guide you to the river.
That's right.
But you got to drink on your own.
Exactly.
So before we went to break, we were talking about the SWOT analysis, which is your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Yes.
So some of the things when you're a weakness as a business is, how can you improve on what you're already doing? There may be some, because it happens. Right. You're in business, right? Yeah. So sometimes, things get overlooked because you're wearing all the hats, or you got to focus on, you lost a couple of clients. Well, you really should, if you lose a couple of clients, why? Yeah. Go back and analyze why that is. Was it just because they were ready to move on? Was it really something that wasn't meeting all of their needs within the products and the services that you are providing them? So it's good to recognize what that is so you can fix it, and you may not be able to get that client back, or you may, but you at least won't lose another client based upon that little weak area right
And
there.
the thing about it is, many small businesses think they have no weaknesses. They'll tell you, I'm not weak in any way. I'm strong. I'm strong all the way around. Well, think about the things that you don't like to do. Those are usually weaknesses, okay? What is it you don't like to do? Do you like doing accounting? No, that's a weakness.
Right, exactly.
Do you love doing marketing? No.
That's a weakness. Do you hate firing people?
You hate firing people?
That's a weakness.
Okay?
That means you're going to let employees stay there forever because you don't want to get rid of them.
Exactly. So you want to think about all the things you don't like to do, you really don't like to do. Those are weaknesses. So you got to bring in resources to help you to strengthen those weaknesses so that you can be more competent within your organization. It could mean you could bring in a consultant. Could mean you can get involved in some training, learn how to speak better to your staff and your customers. You know, some of us, our weakness is customer service. We don't speak well to our customers.
Right.
That's a big one.
We don't like people.
Exactly.
So why do I want to be nice to people, but I'm at the counter?
We're in the people serving business, but we really don't like people.
I don't really like people, man. So, yeah, if you're in the people serving business, that is a major weakness if you don't like people. So you really need to identify that and then bring on somebody that does like people in order to reach them. And then there are other areas that, right, well, with us, we are good at what we do right here in front of this microphone.
Exactly.
To take away from that and be, producing the show and whatever, but now we need to bring on someone that can go out and sell.
Exactly.
Sell ads so that we can continue to bring this incredible show to you.
Exactly.
So, but again, recognizing that he and I both know that we can't add anything else to the table. We can do that, but then we're spread so thin. And
that's a very good point, Crystal, because sometimes, maybe you can do a task, but you don't have the time to do the task. So that's still a weakness.
It's still a weakness.
So you bring in someone to do that task who may be able to do it better than you.
Right, exactly.
So that's really what we want. And it's simple. It's a simple process. We just got to be honest with ourselves.
Exactly. And that's really what the SWOT does. And again, you can create surveys and send that out. Facebook allows you to do a survey. SurveyMonkey allows you to do that. I think there's even a survey component on your LinkedIn. Find out and send out, or just a questionnaire or a newsletter to your customers.
Yeah, just ask them, what do we do very well, and what do we don't do so well?
Right. What can we improve on? Right. Exactly. And then look at incorporating those changes into your business. Now the next one is opportunities. Now I think in today's world, when we're in such a fast moving type of environment as far as running our businesses, and there's businesses being disrupted every single day, being able to spot, understanding and being able to spot a good opportunity for your business. I mean, the television show, that wasn't something, and they asked us that the other day when we were being interviewed on the Christmas show at the studio. Did we plan? Was that on our agenda for the television? It's
wasn't part of our plan at all.
I mean, the radio show, yes. The radio show was part of a plan.
Yes.
And that all fell in and all came together and nicely wrapped up in a bowl called Felicia Morris. But the television show was somebody put the bug there, but that really wasn't the goal.
Exactly.
And then, an opportunity came up and we're like, it wasn't fitting. And, the puzzle pieces weren't all fitting in. We were trying to force some stuff, right? It wasn't the right fit. Then, out of nowhere, it come up and it just fell right into place.
Right into our lap. And the key thing about that part, Crystal, is we were ready. The thing about opportunities is you got to be ready at all times so you can maximize and take advantage of any opportunity that come up.
Any opportunity. So you got to be ready. So you can just fall in space. Exactly. That happens so fast. Like, can you do it next week?
Exactly.
What? Next week? Oh, yeah. Next week. Okay.
It happened so quickly. Crystal and I, we didn't have time to think about it, plan or anything. We just went straight into it because we were ready.
We were already ready. So that when you're looking for those opportunities, make sure when you identify those opportunities that you are ready, that you're ready to be able to execute. The other thing is being able to identify trends that are on the horizon that fit your business concept or model and that you can expand on or partner with someone so that you can then be able to take advantage of that. So that's important, identifying the trends. So everybody should be able to have periodicals or membership to organizations that are within the scope of your business. So Membership is good to chambers. Memberships are good. If you are in the printing industry, then you should be part of the Printing Services Association. I think it's called the PSA or whatever that is.
Yeah.
If you're in construction, then you should be tied in. You should be receiving information and books and registered and subscribed on Facebook, onto their Facebook pages, so that you know what the new trends are in your industry.
Yes.
So that you can act on and see something coming. Because when you see it in a magazine or a periodical, it's not here yet.
No.
But it's coming.
It's coming.
And you need to be able to be ready.
And if you can use those trends to your advantage, it's just a whole lot of good for you, because that can increase your revenue. It can put you in a spotlight, so you can be playing on a bigger stage.
Yeah.
You could be on a world stage. You know, you can identify with some big players in your industry.
Right, exactly.
Just by looking at the trends and jumping on the trends.
Right, exactly. And one of the other areas is technology. Technology is so advanced.
Yes.
Especially we've become so dependent on technology that we don't even realize what's going to happen with the net neutrality, because right now, who does business without the internet?
I don't know of anyone.
Right? You got to have Small Biz Pro would not operate.
It would not be operational at all
if we don't have technology. So that's very important.
Yeah.
Also, technology broadens your scale, your scope, because you and I can do business anywhere in the world.
Yeah. Yep.
All we have to do is have access,
and
we can do webinars, and we're looking at that, expanding ourselves to a e-learning kind of platform, so we can reach larger groups of people.
Yeah.
Small Biz Pro could be accessible all over the world.
All over the world.
Right? So being able to see how your business can do business outside of the narrow scope of which you live in. So if you live in the state of California, we don't have to just do business in Southern California. You're doing business all over the entire state.
That's right. The whole state of California.
Right, and Nevada.
That's right. And that is that is so phenomenal, because again, Crystal, like you were saying earlier about planning and being ready for things. This isn't something that was a part of my wheelhouse that I wanted to do, but it just dropped right into my lap, and I jumped on it because I was ready.
You were ready.
Jumped right on it.
Right, and your skill set was transferable to another state.
Exactly.
I mean, even though you do certification in California, but the process is the same.
It's very much the same, and you could just jump right into the state of Nevada and do a lot of what they do there, the construction, the tourism industry. They call it the hospitality industry, where you got all the casinos, which is really the bread and butter of that society, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, because it's a tourist country. And so now if you could do that there, just think in other cities or Hawaii or other cities where tourism, their revenue is driven by tourism, right? And hospitality is important. So so that's why technology, so look beyond the scope of how you do business today.
Yes.
You do not have to operate in a 4-mile radius.
Right.
You don't have to be there. You can create a platform where they can access you via technology.
Yes.
The other thing is, and we have to look at this now, is just based upon what happened this week, is government policy can change how you do business.
That could be a threat to your business. And that's definitely what I want all you guys to really take seriously. Don't just listen to us and say, oh yeah, they're just two other consultants talking again. I want you to look at this as a serious threat to your business, because these policies, it can determine how much money you make or how much money you pay.
Exactly. And then so if you're a small business and you are already burdened with taxes, and get this. So the country runs based upon this tax revenue. That is, we're the federal government's customer, right? And so now I'm telling a bulk of my customer base, I'm going to drop your taxes just because I feel that we have kinship and we're in the same class.
Yes.
And whereas you have more money, you're going to go from 36% down to 21%. There's still a loss.
Yes.
And in dollars, That's a, what did they say? A $1.5 trillion debt.
$1.5 trillion.
Trillion.
Yeah.
So that $1.5 trillion has to come from somewhere else.
Yeah.
So that means even though they're giving you a very small percent, they're really increasing it because they got to make up that 1.5.
They got to get that deficit made up from somewhere.
Right.
And where's it going to be made up from? From the working horses.
From the working horses.
Who are the working horses? We are the middle class.
So that means that they're going to start shortchanging some of the what they call entitlements, Social Security and Medicare. But remember this: if you've been an employee, there is too little FICA.
Yeah, FICA and FUTA. Those two
FICA
people,
and FUTA.
We don't know who they are, but they're collecting our money every paycheck.
Right, and so. And Social Security. So those are not called entitlements. Those are called, I took them out your check.
I took it out of check, and so what?
and so they're really your own money.
That's right.
That you're using in order to fund your future Social Security, right?
Yeah.
Or your disability or whatever. But that money came through FICA and FUTA and SUTA. That came from your paycheck.
That's right.
And as an employee, as an entrepreneur, that came from your $800 that you didn't pay to the state of California because they're helping you with your self-employment tax, right?
Exactly
so those are your monies. Those are not called entitlements. Those are not benefits.
They're just trying to make you feel bad about having the money, so you have to pay them.
So you have to pay them. So that does affect you as a business owner.
Yes.
That affects your employees because if they have less money, take-home money, because we've had to increase, or they got to come to work sick.
Yeah.
Or they have to work from now on to eternity because there's no they can't go on Medicare, Medicare for their medical insurance or what have you. That does affect your business. So I know a lot of people feel that what's going on in Washington has nothing to do with me here in California as a business owner.
It has a lot.
It has a lot to do with, especially in this level.
Yep.
On this level.
Yep.
And then the other thing is that, recognizing opportunities with changing patterns. Look at Uber and Lyft. Someone thought, wow, the taxi services here in the state of California is really non-existent. Have you ever taken a taxi here?
No.
Okay, so non-existent.
Last time I took a taxi was at the airport when I came here from Jamaica. And the taxi
How long
driver,
you been here?
over 30 years.
How much did he charge you at that time?
Oh, he jacked me $50 from the airport to down the street, like 5 miles down the street. $50.
Right.
I'll never forget that.
Obviously. So that was that was an industry waiting to be disrupted.
Oh, yeah.
Because now it can cost you $25 from the airport, which is still a savings.
I want my refund.
You want your refund. So that was. And then when you look at those that don't like to go to supermarkets, so now you have your Instacart. They will you go online, you go to the little app, you order your groceries. Amazon is everywhere. And I have to give you an Amazon story. So do you have an Amazon Prime account?
Yes.
Okay, and I have one, and my sister doesn't, and my nephews, they all have Amazon Prime. So yesterday, it's Christmas time, and the lines are going out there to buy Christmas shopping, and all the traffic and the parking is just a nightmare, right?
Yeah.
So my sister, we were talking, and my nephew said, "Look, Mommy, here," and she goes, "You just ordered that 15 minutes ago. How did you get that right now?" So she went, "How do you guys get your package? You order yesterday and you get it the next day." Amazon Prime. They give you next 2 days, but usually it comes next day. I said, and they'll even deliver on Sunday.
Yeah.
So she's like, "I need an Amazon Prime account." So, but again, a disruptor because regular U.S. mail, we mailed. My nephew had lost his wallet was stolen out of his car, and he could not get back home from Houston here because he didn't have any ID.
Oh, wow.
So his ID came to his registered home, which is here. My sister mailed it by U.S. Post Office mail.
Yeah.
By 2-day priority.
Yeah.
It took it 7 days to get there.
Oh, my Lord.
He got it the day before he was supposed to get on the plane.
She needs a refund.
Right, exactly. 2 days Prime. And they're like, well, that's no guarantee.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime, 2 days is guaranteed. So that's what we call a disruptive industry.
Market disruptor right there.
And is is looking at opportunities and lifestyle changes that make your business now very vital to those individuals' day-to-day movement, right? Mm-hmm. So all of us have that kind of business. Yeah. So you need to stop. So this before the end of this year, sit down, write out a plan on how, one, to identify what your strengths and weaknesses, and that actually will help you with your plan. Yeah. Right? Yes. And then the last part because we got about five minutes left, is what threats are on the horizon to your business. You have to recognize if what you're doing or the business model that you started your business either 5, 10, and nowadays 2 years ago, 5, 10, 15, 20 years later,
is it hindering your business?
And is it still a relevant industry? Exactly. Because it may have been disrupted by somebody. So can you now look at taking your business up to that next value? A
typical example is the file cabinet industry.
Right.
Who is using them anymore? Not too many people. Right. Because they're using Small Biz Pro. Right. Or they're using some of my competitors.
Right. or even one that people really can resonate with is the home-based telephone.
Yes.
How many people really have? Now, we have one at the house.
I have one, but it's just there. Just
in case. Yeah. Just in case. Exactly. But other than that, most people have disconnected from their base, their stationary phone long time ago.
I had to close one of my accounts today.
Yeah,
AT&T wasn't too happy. I said, hey, sorry.
You're not using it.
I'm not using it. You guys are jacking me every month.
Sorry. Right. So you have your cell phone, and the new smartphone does about everything you need it to do.
Everything I need.
So you don't really need a home-based phone.
Exactly.
So that's one of them that that's something that you use every single day. Yeah. The U.S. Postal Service. Yes. How many people really mail stuff?
Not too many people. Right. Only when it comes to Christmas time like this, people are rushing in line to mail a package. But that's about. Or if you're sending a packet or a document to your attorney or to somebody else where you need to have to the courts, you need to have a receipt and have it documented, then you use those systems.
Then you're still using those systems. So identify your threats and also if you've been in business for over 10 years, recognize that there's some competitors out there that are doing things better and more efficient than what you originally started however you started your business or whatever your business model was.
And check to see what new regulations are out there, just came up on the horizon that could affect your business. You need to check that too.
Right, and that's technology as well, because there could be somebody encroaching. Exactly. I mean, look at the supermarkets now; they have machines that do all the checkout. Banks have machines, so at some point, there will be no tellers, and no people. Yeah. So recognize that. So those are the tips that we have.
These are excellent tips, Crystal.
Yeah,
these
being
are really
stronger,
excellent tips.
A stronger business.
For those of you who really are just tuning in, or you've been listening since 3 o'clock today, we're going to ask you to go to YouTube and download this video of the show so you can use this information that we just disseminated to you, and you can use it over and over and help to manage your business process, because the point and tips that Crystal and I just gave you are really useful. You guys should really, really pay attention to that.
Right, and I'll put in the discussion box later on the SWOT and what it pertains to. Yeah. And you can also go on the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert on our YouTube channel, and I have a list of all of our shows since the inception. They're all categorized, because that's who I am. Yeah. Under playlists for each month, and you can see and pull out one that is of your interest and help you with whatever you need to do. We've had, as we said earlier, 57 guests.
That's what I'm saying.
And we need you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yes. It's the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert, and we'll be very happy so that we can get our own independent, customized name for our new YouTube channel, because we have some goals and plans as well, and one of them is to continue to monetize the show. So we need your help to do that. And I think, Gilbert, I'm going to send out a survey of our SWOT analysis to our customers and see what kind of feedback we get.
I think that would be very
Wouldn't that be great?
That would be
so that's what we're going to do. So we're here at the top of the hour. It is Wow, Christmas is Monday.
It is Christmas, Crystal, and I want to say a Merry Christmas to you
Merry
and your family.
Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to our audience. Have a safe and wonderful family full of love Christmas. It's not about the gifts. It's about the season. So enjoy yourself. And I guess we're going to sign off for this week. And we will see you next week.
See you next week. It's next Friday from 3 to 5. You're on the Business Zone.
As a small biz pro, so we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, so we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Got my capability statement, yes, I'm ready to go. Got my balance sheet, my P&L, my statement of cash flow. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah.